going to demonstrate the free web-based electronic reporting software that registers your clients and records services provided to your community. To begin, go to communityservices.org. From that page, you would click Resources and e-reporting. This is the page that you would find the e-reporting database live. This is where you would record your information on your clients and the services that you provide for them. There's also a paper reporting form. You can download that in case your center or church doesn't have internet. You can write it on the paper form and then have a volunteer or somebody input the information later on when you do have access to internet. If you scroll down, this is where you would get your username and password. You would register an individual user. It asks a few questions, and then at the bottom you hit Submit. Once you put in the username and password, you log in. This is the dashboard. This is what you will see when you enter into the live one. You'll see monthly clients, volunteers, visits, and the last 20 clients once you've put that information in. Okay, so a client comes in. You want to add this client into your live database, but you don't know if that client's been seen before. So if you hit Show, then you can search by first name, last name. You can search a relative's first name or last name, and you can see if that client has already been seen. It'll list 20 or 30 of the clients, the last clients that you've put in. And you can see that they're active. You can see the center, the date the person was seen, the first and last name, a relative, what the relationship is. You can view the member. You can add a member if there's another household member. You can view why that client was seen, or you can add a visit. So if this client was seen and you need to add another visit because they've come in again, you could add it right here, or you can also edit. We're going to add a client. So you want to create. Anything that has an asterisk, there has to be information in that dialog box. So let's just go with a name. Let's go with Mary. Last name Lamb. So you put a first name, last name. You can put an email address. You can put a middle name, a maiden name. You can put a suffix if it's a junior, a senior, the second or the third, but you don't have to. It's not mandatory. Then the address. Second, a city. And you can do a state. It has all the states here. So let's pick Nevada. You also can put in a postal code, phone number, county. And then there's the profile information. This is an ID. We ask that you take the last 4 numbers of a certain ID, whether it's a driver's license, a legal residence, passport, a social security, state ID, or a visitor's visa. If they don't have any of those IDs and they're reluctant to give you, then you can choose Other and you can create your own 4-digit ID number. Marital status has the options right here. Education, use the drop down and you can see that there's a variety of education levels that you can type in there. And then there's a race. And then gender. So you pick male or female. And then date of birth. For this purposes, I'm just going to say 1900 because we're making up information. Okay, then it has the option to put in the monthly household income from all sources if you want to, but you don't have to. And there's a section for a comment, but that can be left blank too in case you have something that you want to comment on that client. And then you can submit. Now you can also clear the form in case you've made a mistake or you said, I think I didn't check to see if that client's been in, so let me clear the form. Go check to see if the client's in, and then do it again. Or hit submit. So once you hit submit, you get a dialog box that says good job, success. So good, hit OK. Notice now there's a third section here. This is where you're going to add the visit to the client from right there. So we're going to click on that and these dialog boxes come up. You now notice that you're on the visits page. This is the date of the visit. If you have recorded on paper forms and you are inputting the information on a different date, you can always change it. Okay, the client maybe came in on the 12th, so you're going to change it to the 12th. It automatically defaults to the day that you are logging things in. So the first one is community development. We offer transportation miles. If you've given them a lift to the doctors, you can put how many miles. If it was a community event support type, you could just type in what it was, how many hours. If it was an adult or child daycare, you can choose which one it was and how many hours. Job training, legal assistance, number of hours, prepared meals, number of meals. Sheltering, we have a list of sheltering, cooling, disaster, homeless, amends, a warming center or women's. Maybe some other shelter that we hadn't thought of, so you can choose other. And then the number of hours. There's always an other assistance if there's something that you need to type in there yourself. The next dialog box is health education. Cooking classes, CPR, first aid class. How many classes? What type of first aid class? Maybe it was a fitness class or a healthy lifestyle class. You can type in what kind or how many hours or numbers they have. There's the other. You can type in something if we haven't thought of what you've done. Stop smoking class, a stress management class, or a weight management class. The next category is household assistance. Bedding, number of items. Cleaning supplies, number of items. Clothing, number of items. Furniture, number of items. Groceries, number of pounds. Home maintenance. Maybe you fixed a fence or raked the leaves. You can put out a number to have hours. Monetary assistance. Maybe you've given them $100. You can type that in there. Personal care kits. How many kits? Maybe this $100 was a gas voucher, so in other you might say gas voucher. So for this purpose, let's say we gave Mary 5 items of clothing and 10 pounds of food. So let's scroll down and see if there's anything else. Emotional and spiritual care. This section is group or individual. Were they part of a group or an individual session? Was it crisis care? Was it grief care? End of life? Visitation number of hours? Or other? There's disaster assistance. Bedding, number of items, cleaning supplies, clothing, diapers, groceries, again, number of pounds, or personal care kits, number of kits, or other. The next category is education assistance. Was it part group or individual? Tutoring, retirement planning, parenting, mentoring, financial planning. Maybe it was English as a second language, or there's other you can type in. The last category is health services. Maybe you have a dentist or a doctor or a nurse that's volunteering or on staff, and they are come in to volunteer and they do different services. You can choose what professional, and then you can type in what kind of care they got. Maybe they got an eye exam. Hearing, health screening, or there's other. And then we just have a category for other. If there's something that you want to type that we haven't thought of, then you can just type it in here. Now here's the option. If you've only used one dialog box, then you can just hit the box save for which one you did. But we hit multiple, so if you scroll at the top, you can go save all. And that saves all the information you put in. And it tells you good job, so you say okay. That was under the client. We created it and did a visit, but it also goes to the visit. So let's go to the Visit tab and show. You can also search by here, by first name, last name, or dates. And right there, Mary Lamb is the first one. So when you go to the Visit and Show, you can choose Mary Lamb and you can hit the eye icon here, and that's for information. You click that and it tells the information that you did on Mary. Okay, so maybe you didn't give $100, maybe it was only 10 and you added an extra 0. So if you hit the pencil, that is the edit button. So you go down to where the monetary assistant is, delete one of those zeros, And I'm going to just save that because that's the only one I changed. Good job, it says. So let's go back to visit, show. There's Mary Lamb. We're going to see that information, and it changed to 10. There is an option to delete the client, but you do not want to delete a client if you've given services because that will make your reports not accurate for what you've done. The only way to delete a client is if they were in, you put the service in maybe the same date or say it's an overlap, a duplicate. And when you hit the trash can, it says, are you sure? You won't be able to revert this. So you got to make sure if you want to delete that client or not. And I'm going to cancel. So it shows the last 20 clients that were put in. And that's on the visit one on the show. Now you have volunteer. Volunteer is recording the volunteers that come to your church or center to help with the outreach activities. You create the volunteer. This is the number of volunteers that serve for that day, if you're recording for that day or for the week, but usually we like to do the day because it asks for the date here. So let's say there was 7 volunteers and their hours combined for that day. Maybe a couple of volunteers did 2 hours that day, maybe one did 5 hours. So you want to do the combined hours of all of them. So let's say 21. And then the date. So let's say on the 11th. Now this is another part that you can also use, the volunteer information, which is other expenses. Maybe there's somebody that is a salary and you want to put that expense right there, or some other kind of expense. Maybe you've had to buy something, some paper, whatever. Maybe the church gives you some income for your activity, so you want to maybe record it there. Maybe you got a grant from a corporation, you can include it there. Income fees or income from others or individual. Maybe somebody gave you donation to help with it. Once you're done, you hit submit. And once again, you get a dialog box that says good job. So you say okay. So that was under the volunteer. So you can create. If you want to show, this shows the last times that you've done. So this is all the volunteer hours. So here's the one we just put in for the 11th, 7 volunteers, a total of 21 hours. 21st, 5 hours. 5 volunteers, 10 hours. If you're already on this page, you can add volunteers right here. If you had volunteers that came on the 12th, then you could add it right there, or you can edit if you've made a mistake. This will be blank. The expenses will be blank unless you use those dialog boxes. So you can see these are just numbers that people have put in because they're practicing. Okay, that's the volunteer. Okay, so I want to show you back to the client. So if I show you a client, and you say, here's Mary Lamb. She has no relatives or household members. But Zoe has a husband, Jerry Bratton. So you can view the member here. If another household member comes, you can view the visit or add the visit. So let's go to the household members. I'm going to show. So here's the household members, so you can see. This is an active, this is the husband, so Zoe Bratton is the client, so these are the clients, and these are the members. It says whether it's male, female, date of birth, age, what nationality. You can add a member there as well or edit. You can make them inactive. Maybe this relative was a sister who moved out. It is a sister moved out. You can click this little blue arrow. You successfully made them inactive because they're no longer there. Maybe they moved away and you're not keeping track. Because if you give, like, say, 15 pounds of food to Maxine Cook, do you kind of want to know, is that just for her or is it feeding other people? So that's why you would possibly keep track of household members. But you can also make her back active. So you said okay. Okay, so we've looked at client, we've looked at visit, we looked at volunteer, and we've looked at household members. I'm going to show you. Let's add a member to Mary Lamb. So we're going to add a member. This is the dialog box you get. So it's asked for first name, last name, gender, date of birth, race, relationship. See, so it has brother, daughter, father, husband, mother, other adult, other minor, because it may not all be relatives. It may be people that are in the same household that are needing help. So that's where you can add a member and see what the dialog box is. Okay, report. This is the next one. Report shows graphs of what was services that were done, or the education level, shows the education level. This will be blank. If you don't put anything about their education level, then you will not see this graph. But if you hover over it, it'll tell you different levels of education, the clients that you're seeing. Household assistance, here's bedding, how much bedding you've given, how much clothing, how much groceries, cleaning supplies, personal care kits, furniture. You can export this to an Excel spreadsheet. If your board needs a report, you can export it and make a report to give to your board members. Other one, it tells you how many females versus males that you're seeing and what's the nationality, the race that you're of the clients that are coming in. Who are you helping the most? And then it has a breakdown by age. Maybe this is the highest 50-59. Maybe you would do some seminar on that age level. If you're seeing a lot of older people, maybe you need to do some seminar, for the aging. So breakdown by marital status. If you keep track of that, then you would have that graphed as well. So you have those reports that you can use. And you can search by certain dates. Maybe you only need a quarter report or a 6-month report. Then you can type in the dates and search, and then that will show a different. This is for all of it. The user just shows how many users are in yours. See, we only have David because he's the only one with this sandbox. And the center will just show you information about your center. That's the code. There's the center name, address, manager phone, and it talks about division, union, and conference. And that is it. And then when you're done, you click up here and you log out. And that's it. If you have any questions, you can call us at 301-680-6438, or you can email us at acs@nadadventist.org. Thank you.